Big up, everybody. It is Tuesday night, and your boy Tarek is back with another edition of Talk Back Tuesday. As always, at least recently, as always, I got my guy Trev with me. So appreciate you being here, sir.
Good evening, good morning. Morning, my time.
Yeah, good morning, good evening, and good night. Big up, everybody. We're glad to have you here. You're the most important part of this whole show. It doesn't work without you. So I'm glad to have you. Glad you're here. And glad you took time out of your day to jump on with us. It's been a long day for me, I gotta say. So I will try to keep the energy levels high, but it's been a long day. Anyway, if somebody wants to help your boy become independently wealthy, so I don't have to go to work every morning, I'll gladly take you up on that. And then I can just sit here and talk behind this mic all day. It just is what it is. Until then, I got to go to work and I got to struggle to keep the energy levels high. But
the thing is, Tariq, if it's full time, you have to make stuff up.
Yeah,
because there just isn't enough to talk about.
Yeah,
so you end up being an aggregator, and then you end up losing your mind.
Because I can pick and choose. Like, I could do more, and I'm gonna start doing more. I'm actually setting up some interviews, or if you want to call it that, some recordings that I'm going to do over the next couple of weeks, I think, to supplement what we do on the Tuesday evening streams. But right now I get to pick and choose because this is just for fun. I'm effectively paying to be here every night or every week. So I don't have an obligation to anyone to say anything that they want to hear. I can do whatever I want to do, and it is what it is, right? So certainly appreciate that flexibility. And you're right, it would definitely switch that up. Anyway,
I've just watched it happen, the process with people, not in the football space,
but
they become addicted to checking their analytics, and then they start to change what they say to put the analytics ticks up. And then they become inauthentic. It's a balance. It's a real balance. Some people get it right. Most don't,
Yeah, it's for sure. I think if you do this, there is a tendency to want to check your analytics because, of course, you want people. You're not doing this if you don't want someone to listen, right? Now, I mean, you could just be doing this and speaking into the ether, but I'm doing this because of the people that are in the chat. The 21 of you right now that are in the chat, you're the ones, and you're the reason that make this fun. Now, there are other people who, we'll watch this back
people
later.
Checking them every 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's insane. Yeah, no, that's insane. That's crazy. Yeah, but I can imagine if this was how you made your living, and this is how you got paid, then and that's, to be clear, that's no shade to anyone that does this for a living. I'm happy for those guys. I just know that anyway. Big up everybody in the chat. I see, as always, so many familiar names and faces. So we're certainly appreciate you. Big up to my guy Snoopy. Appreciate you being here, man. Joel McKinnon is with us. He's got bad news about Rodri. We'll get to Rodri in a little bit. Matthew Hoyle says City are back, and that's where I want to go. City is back. Yeah, they're back, and we will get into it. Adam, big up Blues. Yes. Cade, talking about Buati. We'll get into transfers here in a minute. Adam says we're going to win the treble. Okay. I like the optimism.
Correct, Adam.
I like the optimism. Ringoku says good evening. He's got what is Enzo Maresca, transfer news, Buati. He mentions a different name, Rico Lewis, which I haven't. Not that I just, of course I know Rico Lewis, but I just haven't heard his name in context of where his future might lie. So we'll see. But big up to Joshua. Oh, Joshua 115. Big up to you. Of course, Steve is here with us every week, so big up to you, sir. So
can I just say to the people in the chat,
yep,
because I know that the Rodri thing is going to be massive. Okay, some of you are copy and pasting City Extra, and that's good. That's fine, right? But follow the links that they're referencing. Okay, they're referencing 2 journalists, so go and read what those journalists are saying. Also, so go and see what Matteo is saying, and go and check his last 2 tweets on this subject. And there's a Spanish guy who I will put up his link as well, who they are referencing. So there's Madrid Extra and there's another Madrid site. Please just go that 1 click further and then read the source that City Extra are referencing and the source that source is referencing, because that's Spanish media. And you'll find some significant differences in how this is being talked about. So if we're going to talk about it, please take the extra couple of clicks and go try and get to the source, because City Extra aggregators, I doubt they read what they put out, because they just put out so much, and they're really good at it, and I like them a lot. Okay, so it's not anti-City Extra, but please take the extra click. It takes seconds to get the full picture. And now Tariq's gone. The host has left me. That's not good.
Yeah, I was looking for. I have a cable somewhere, and I can't find it. I'm supposed to put my iPad into my little board here, and I don't know where it is. And that's irritating because, I try not to clean up my area, because if I clean up the mess, quote unquote, the things that are, in its rightful space get lost. Anyway, so I have on my soundboard in front of me, which you cannot hear because I don't know where my cable is. But there's the sound of one Michael Buffer who says, "Let's get ready to rumble."
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Do you remember that from the World Cup, the final? Before the final, we hear the quintessential American sports event. We hear, "Let's get ready to rumble."
Doesn't that guy get like $5 million for turning up?
I don't know, but
saying that.
he just stands in the middle of the ring. He's from boxing. He's done
I know
any sporting event,
decades.
Really. Yeah, so I have this on this iPad in front of me, but I have completely lost the cable.
He'll probably invoice you if you use it.
So I've done it before. I don't know what would happen. I don't know what would happen. But yeah, so, I thought that was interesting because, again, for a lot of people, one of the issues with the World Cup was how we Americanized it, quote unquote. So, to see Michael Buffer come out was just like, in some ways it was cringe. But in other ways, which is what my kids would say, I've been accused of being cringe or saying things that are cringe by my kids. But it would have been that to some extent, or was that to some extent. But like you said, it's America, right? So when you think American sports, you kind of do see that in many ways. So I guess I wasn't too upset by it, but it was just kind of like, did we have to put on display how we want to do everything different?
That was the least irritating of the Americanization of it, because we're used to seeing that guy. He's a known thing.
All right,
he's
fair
known
enough.
For saying that, because we follow other sports, we follow boxing especially. So we're used to seeing him doing his "Let's get ready to rumble," and the rumor is he gets about 5 million every time he does it, which is not a bad bag for a temporary gig that you do 4 or 5
if I ever
times
find
a
this
year.
cable and I play it, And then all of a sudden, the channel's like, what happened to Terry? The channel doesn't even exist anymore. Well, then you know that Michael Buffer sent me a bill, and I was just like, yeah, we're not going to be able to do it. Not going to be able to do it. So that is that. But that was at the beginning of the match. At the end of the match, we had Trump on the side of Spain, and Rodri was trying to get him off. We had Mikel Merino doing the quote unquote Trump dance. And then we finally had him go off to the side because Gianni Infantino runs over and tries to move him off the stage before they take their big picture in Rodri.
He was lurking, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Trump was lurking to try and get in there.
Yeah, he was trying his best. I think he kind of probably did to some extent. They were able to get a picture without him, I guess. But so you had that at the end of the match. And then in the middle of the match, in between, you had the first ever World Cup halftime show. At least I think it's the first ever halftime show.
That was all kinds of wrong, Terry.
With all kinds of folks on there. Many of whom I don't know because I just don't listen to music like that anymore. But I will say is it BTS, whatever their song? Dun, 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 dun. I don't know the name of the song, something, but anyway, I just know the music because it's on the video game that I play. So that was America in three stages, I guess, 3 phases. So
the thing is, it had to be American. You're the host, you know. But they did a nod to Mexico and Canada, and not so much Canada for some reason. Yeah. But they gave a nod to Mexico. So nobody expected it to not be Americanized. Yeah. But I think the half an hour was. No,
so that was long, even I think that was kind of long even for us. I'm trying to think. So it was probably normal, I'm guessing, because I feel like the NFL, the Super Bowl, I feel like the halftime show is probably about 12 minutes, 15 minutes at most. But you got the commercials and to give you the setup time in before and after, right? So it ends up probably being around that same amount of time, I'm guessing.
One of the greatest performances Prince ever did was a Super Bowl show in the rain, and he sang Purple Rain, and I think it's there's that and when he did While My Guitar Gently Weeps. And I've seen him 5 times, but I think those 2 performances, another level, an entire other level. And his performance at the Super Bowl was just incredible. Hi, Solomon.
I don't know. There's like a echo now that I got you on, Solomon. So be careful. I don't know if you got headphones in, it looks like, so I don't know what's going on with that. But
is it better now?
Hold on one second. See, if I muted you right now and I don't hear myself. Without you muted, I hear myself kind of coming back in. I don't know.
So it's not me.
No, I just muted him and it was fine.
Okay.
You guys in the chat, you'll tell me if it's different because I can hear it now. Just by unmuting it, I can hear it again. But we'll keep working. If it becomes an irritant, let me know, and we will try to fix it or do what we got to do. But big up to Solomon. Solomon has been a faithful viewer, and he jumps on the stage with us every week. So big up to him. While we're here, let me pause for a second because I didn't do this at the beginning. If you're new here, welcome. If you've been here before, you know how this works. Every Tuesday night, this show, Talk Back Tuesday, is intended to be a place where you get to talk back to the people behind the mic, right? I sit behind this mic. I'm here tonight. Last night, I was on a different channel, talking city or just talking football in general. And so I get opportunities to sit behind the mic and talk to you, at you, about whatever I want to talk about. But I'm not naive enough to think that there's not times that I say something that you completely disagree with, or maybe you agree with. And you're thinking to yourself, oh, but no, that's not right, or whatever, right? And so this is an opportunity for you to not just think that, but to be able to come on and have your say. So in the chat, if you're on YouTube, in the chat, there is a pinned message. It should probably be at the bottom. But that message has been pinned there. That message, all it has in it is a URL. If you click that URL, it will take you behind the scenes. I will then be able to bring you on. So let us know once. If you do that, you will do just like Sir Matthew did, and come in the backstage, and I'll be able to bring you on. Big up, Matthew.
Yeah, but how are you doing?
So again, if you want to come on, you're more than welcome. This is the show where you get to have your say. You get to tell me what your thoughts are. There's a lot of news going on. We're talking about the World Cup. We talked about how it was quote unquote Americanized. It had an American flavor to it. So it is what it is. If you want to talk about that or anything else, this is the show to do it. We've got a lot of things we're going to get into. Of course, we're going to get into transfer window, transfer rumors, and all the transfer speculation that your heart can handle. Of course, because why? Because not just football is back, but club football is back. For those that are club over country, you get club back. We saw pictures today. We even saw a video of the boys in blue out there training with the new manager on the pitch for the first time that I saw pictures. Let's say maybe they were training yesterday. Either way, we saw a video of Claudio Echeverri dribbling and playing the ball into the small-sided goal. So looked sharp, but it's very early. But there's so much to get excited about. So if you're here and you have thoughts, you're welcome to come on. Always jump into the chat. Keeps it lively. We will bounce ideas and thoughts off the chat as well. So welcome again, everyone. So we saw, and this is the wrong notes. There we go. So we saw Spain win the World Cup 1-0 over Argentina.
Ole!
Yeah, they were getting the Olays going towards the end there. It was, to me, it didn't feel like Argentina really did next to nothing in this match. It was pretty overwhelming and dominant, even if the scoreline doesn't look that way. 1-0 looks like it's close, but I don't think it was really close. I think Spain had the ball in the back of the net twice. In addition, or technically 3 times, and twice in addition to the one that actually quote unquote counted, and they had those goals chalked off. But it could easily have been 3 or more. Do you guys agree with that? And I'll bring you back off mute, Solomon, so we can hear from you too. But starting with the World Cup, thoughts on that final, the World Cup final. Trev, I'll start with you.
They're never great games, or they're rarely great games. They're usually tight. There's a guy who has done this new kind of database thing. It's 3D animation, but it's all based on data points about momentum. And it goes in waves. It's really good. I found out a few days later that he actually lifted that work from another guy who did the original work. But the guy who did the original work doesn't do much with it, but props to him. But if you watch, it's a really good visualization, and you watch, the pressure from Spain was relentless all the way through, with perhaps a few minutes down the right-hand side of Argentina. But they didn't have a shot. I think that was one of the telling stats.
No shots at all.
No shots. And so that's got to be a worry. So yeah, not a great game. I'm happy about the result because of other stuff related to Argentina and particularly how they behaved at the end, which was appalling. Yes. So yeah, very didn't want Argentina to win because of the racism. Happy that Spain won because Rodri's completed football.
Matthew, what were your thoughts on that match?
But I enjoyed it from a tactical perspective. Wasn't a great game as in chances, but I enjoyed it. I like watching the tactical side of it and how the difference between Spain against Argentina and England versus Argentina to control the game, keep the ball, and don't panic. And that's what I enjoyed about it. But yeah, it wasn't a great game entertainment wise. But if you like tactics and you like looking out, good defending and good ball play, then it's a good game. But if you want entertainment, it wasn't that great. But then again, Argentina was very aggressive and very from the start. They're straight in with the niggles off the ball, and they played like that throughout the whole tournament. And some people like the way they play. I think it's some people don't, and I'm 50-50. It gets them to if England have played like that and got to a final, then you can only go, oh, okay. But yeah, I thought the game was not great entertainment wise, but great tactical wise.
Yeah, it was definitely a tactical match, a tactical battle. Big up DC. Steve says that the final was the worst match of the tournament. Runners-up match was miles better. Big up Alan. Alan, do you agree with this? Do you think that this match was the worst of the tournament? And if so, I assume, do you think the England-France game, what were your thoughts on that one?
I won't say it was the worst one, but you had one team they were trying to play football, and the other team just trying to kick shit out of everybody on the pitch and foul everybody and just play defensive and trying to take it to penalties in the final, which was Argentina, obviously, and they were disgraceful the way they behaved. And Spain tried to play football, which they did, and Argentina just tried to stop them, which they did. I think football won in the end. I was so glad. The England-France game, I didn't really give a shit about. I did watch it because I was awake and I was watching it in bed. But it was basically, to me, it was like a glorified friendly at the start of the season when there was no real tackling going on.
Yeah.
And I think they made pretty much an agreement that they'd go through the motions and just play open football, which they did. And it was, whilst there was loads of chances and loads of opportunities to score goals, that was great. But I think if that game had accounted properly and been a final, it'd have been a lot more physical.
Yeah, if that was the final, they wouldn't have played the same way, right? They would have played much differently.
Absolutely,
yeah.
Absolutely.
Even the lineups wouldn't have been the same as to who actually got those.
I've not really spoken to anybody since England got knocked out, and my personal opinion about that was, one was managers' tactics were horrendous in the second half. They got 1-0 up, and then they took a fullback off for a winger off for a fullback, which was inviting Argentina onto them big time, and then kept making more defensive substitutions, which was committing suicide. And to me, I don't think England have learned anything in the last 8 years of how to play the game. Spain play possession-based football, right, with short passing, possession-based football, pressing high up the pitch, which England have still not learned how to do it and cannot do it because they're not coached right. Apart from Pep in the Premier League and maybe the Arsenal manager, none of them know how to play possession-based football. And England, to me, have still not learned how to do that. And until they do learn and get down to the root of the problem, they won't compete for trophies. Simple.
Do you have to? And I'm gonna get to Solomon, but do you feel you have to play Spain type possession football to be successful at this level? I think for me, I feel like you can because not every team is Spain, right? Nobody is doing what Spain is doing.
But let's look at the absolute facts here, right? Spanish club sides, Spanish internationals, not just the men but the women as well, right? Play the same tactic right through. City have done for the last 10 years.
Hold on.
Whoa. Right. What I will say, Spanish teams and all the way through their way, like City have done. So the ladies, the youth teams, they play the possession-based football, right? It works. It might bore people to death, but it works. And no one can say otherwise. They conceded 1 goal in this tournament and scored
Yes,
plenty of goals.
I'm not suggesting that Spain didn't play, to their strengths. So I apologize. Hold on. I apologize, everyone. We'd only done this for 37 weeks at this point. We should have this worked out. I apologize for the audio issues. We will try to get Solomon back on if we can get his audio right, but I can't keep doing that. That's not going to work.
No problem, Tarek.
But hold on, but before you go,
no, hear me out.
Well, but I want you to hear me though, because I don't think just because Spain excelled at their style of play doesn't mean that that's the only style of play that will work. I think you have to determine what your style of play is and excel in it. Again, Argentina got as far as they went. They don't keep the ball the way Spain do. France got as far as they did. France doesn't keep the ball the way Spain do. Spain are the exception probably to some extent. Now, of course, you can't just give the ball away, have 30-40% possession and expect to win consistently. I don't think, but I don't think you have to, have 65-70% possession either. And I don't even know what the possession numbers were for that match. But go ahead.
What I will say to you is this. The short passing game, you tend not to give the ball away. It's hard to do that, give the ball when you're playing short passing. But when you play longer balls, you run the risk of losing the ball a lot more.
So I agree with that, right? And again, as a City fan, I have no problem with the possession game. I think, that works for us, however, I think you can win other ways. I don't think you can, again, I think you have to be able to keep the ball, but I don't know that it has to be. And let me go to this World Cup and see what was the possession stats in that final. Let me see. In the final, Argentina had the ball 35%. Spain had 65%, right? So that's they dominated possession, 65% to 35%. So do I think you have to have 30% more possession than your opponent? No.
I think Terry, when England played Argentina in the semi-final, we had 12% possession in the last 35 minutes.
So again, I think that's where, yes, I think you need to be able to keep the ball, particularly in those moments. So
I'm not, sorry, no offense, but I'm only interested in England, right?
Oh, that's fair.
And we in the Euros when we lost to Italy, when England scored, and then this time, our possession stuff.
Wait, you lost to Italy in the Euros, like the most recent Euros?
We lost to Spain.
Oh, okay. I thought you said Italy. Sorry, I was gonna say that's actually kind of
Italy at Wembley. England couldn't keep the ball. England in the last 5 or 6 tournaments cannot keep the ball.
Yeah, no, that's fair. So big up, Martin. Glad to have you, sir. We're gonna get into the City portion of this in a minute, but we saw Enzo Fernandez pick up a second yellow card, and if I have never wanted him before, I surely don't want him now. There is just it feels like I'm not naive, right? And I'm not, I can say that he's decently talented. Not my favorite player, but he's decently talented. I'm not going to sit here and take that away from him. I don't know, however, I question the I don't know if it's the emotional intelligence, if it's the I won't even say football IQ, because that just sounds silly for me as a person sitting behind a screen. I don't know what it is, but I don't think he's there's an issue there, right? Dude's got problems. But you saw the tackle. The first yellow card was for dissent. The second yellow card was for the tackle. If he wasn't already on a yellow, no one would question the fact that he got a yellow for that tackle. Does anyone here not think that was a second yellow worthy offense?
It was a straight red. It was a straight red for me.
Straight red for you. All right. Matthew, what are you thinking?
I thought straight red.
What's that?
I thought straight red on the first saw it, yeah.
So, straight red, yeah. Yeah, no, that's fair. If you think it's a straight red, it's even worse than the second yellow. So, but no, I'm not an England fan, right? I'm from the U.S. I care about City players, but there was a sense of, and I don't know what the Germans is, it Schadenfreude, whatever. You know, you feel good when somebody else experiences a little bit of pain, and so him getting sent off, I actually enjoyed that to a certain extent, and maybe that makes me a hater. But you know what? I don't care. I'll embrace that. Yes, I was a hater in that moment, but I was glad to see Matthew. I'm gonna mute you too because there's a little bit of background. I think you can come back off whenever you're ready to talk. But so yeah, I was a little happy to see him, and I hope that any conversation linking him with City is over. Now, that being said, there's something to be said about when the player is on your team, you tend to overlook a lot of stuff. And so
imagine this. You're a black or mixed race Man City player, half the squad. A man who sang racist songs from a country that's famous for racism that doesn't have a black player in their international team. It comes into your dressing room. How happy are you?
But you have to think about, I mean, even so yes, the difference I was going to say, because it's the same thing that happened with Chelsea, right? When he came back, there were issues initially in the locker room, whether that was, and I don't want to put names on it because I'll get it wrong and someone will tell me and they'll yell at me and tell me I was wrong. But, there's black players in the Chelsea locker room as well, right? That weren't necessarily all happy about it. And it took a little bit of time for it to smooth over. The difference would be he was already on Chelsea. For us, it would be us going and getting him after the fact. But even with that, if you're a Chelsea fan,
I'm going to jump in. I'm going to jump in. Can I not be PC here?
Can you be not PC? Yeah. Go ahead.
The guy's a prick.
Yes.
Let's say it as it is. The guy is a low-life scum of a human being.
But this is where I want to get to, though.
Scum of the earth. And I'm sorry, that team is led by example.
So, but this is where I wanted to go with this question, because I think most of us would feel the same way about him. But do we feel that way because he's not on our team? And I asked that question because if for some reason he was to show up and Enzo Maresca were to bring him in and he's now a City fan, or not a City, he's a City player, excuse me. What do you do? Has there been a player, and you guys have been City fans way longer than I have. Has there been a player that's on the team that you haven't gotten behind? And I ask this because, as much as I feel strongly about my dislike for Enzo Maresca, there are Liverpool fans and other fans who feel strongly about, they dislike Bernardo Silva. Right? Now, I don't necessarily equate those things to be the same. Right. I don't expect those things to necessarily be the same. However, I guess my question is, when they're on your team, do you dismiss it? Do you overlook it? Or do you just find a way to just be like, I'll support regardless?
No, there's a line. An obvious, blatant, shameless racism is way over that line. Shithousery, bring it on when it's shithousery on behalf of our club. Okay. Yeah. But when you're a bigot, and a proud bigot at that, when you wait for Messi, who told the team to stop singing those songs, when you wait for him to be delayed getting on the team bus, because Messi's getting treatment, and then you sing those songs when Messi's not around. And it's also a weakness of character. Somebody tried to defend him by saying he was just going along with what... No. A person of character is a person of character all the time. A person of character stands up and says, don't sing that near me. Don't do that shit near me. This is not something that I will tolerate anywhere in front of me. That's what a genuine person of character, of morality, a sincere person does. You do not need the approval of bigots. And he was too weak. He was too weak to stand up in that moment. I have zero tolerance for it. I know Martin's the same, probably because of where we're from, which is a very mixed city.
Sure.
And where our club used to be, which is Moss Side. And I won't bore everyone with the details about the history of Moss Side again. Those who've heard it before know. And so, don't do that here. And then to think about paying for that to come to our club is
that's
enough.
Again, yeah, we would be making a conscious choice to bring him in.
There you go.
But again, so I think what we're saying, and I think the suggestion is that we would, because none of us are going to stop being City fans if they bring him in. So how do you would have to just separate, I can support the team and not necessarily support him. And you'd have to walk that fine line. But
I would never cheer him. I would never cheer him. I would never clap him. Never sing his name. I would never acknowledge anything he ever would do in a such. I don't care if he scored the 93rd minute winner in a Champions League final. He can kiss my big white ass for all I care, and he can rot in the lowest hells of death.
He's not a nice person, especially when he turned around and said, "I like English people because they clean my kitchen, they clean my house."
Yeah.
As soon as he said that.
All right, so let's move off of Enzo Fernandez.
There's nothing wrong with cleaning people's homes.
No, of course not. Of course not.
Right?
But I think
he used that as a negative. Insult.
Yeah. So let's move off of Enzo Fernandez because I don't want to. This isn't about him. Again, I brought it up, so it's on me. But I don't want to get stuck talking about him because again, he's not a City player. We all hope that he never becomes a City player. So great. But who is a City player, at least for now, is Rodri. Rodri got the golden ball. He's the winner of the quote unquote player of the tournament. Rodri and Zinedine Zidane are the only players in history, according to this tweet that I saw, to win the Player of the Tournament award for both the World Cup and the Euros. So he joins rarefied air. He is one of a very select few to have done it. And being in a group with Zinedine Zidane, it can't go wrong there. So big up to Rodri, who we will talk about in a little bit because, again, I'm sure it's going to dominate some conversation here in just a moment. I mentioned last week and I asked folks who they thought was the biggest I don't know if I want to say winner or whose profile got raised or however I phrased it last week, talking about Erling Haaland. And I saw an Instagram post for him that said, thanks everyone for the love. I should probably pull it up if I could. I don't know how to get to my Instagram on my computer. Thanks everyone for the love. Life has changed forever and I love it. Peace out. So again, I feel like my statement about how his profile has changed, and again, this is me assuming that that's what he means when he says life has changed forever. He's got so many people that have decided to become Erling Haaland fans, to follow him, and that means they will now be supporting Man City, at least for some portion of time. I won't say that they necessarily all become diehards, but there are many who are saying that they are staking their fandom to Erling Haaland and wanting to follow him and the team that he's on. Anything else we want to say about the World Cup before we put it behind us and completely and totally jump into club football? Going once, going twice, nobody cares. All right, moving on. So start thinking about club football, and this is sad, but the first thing that I want to know is, will we get a 115, 115 charge, 130, whatever? Now that the World Cup is over, should we expect a conclusion? Well, I want to know, should I expect a conclusion? There's got to come to an end at some point, right? Can I finally get this thing over with? So I didn't expect them to do it before the World Cup, right? Because you don't want to draw attention away from it. You're not going to do it during the World Cup because, again, you don't want to draw attention away from it. You got to get it in before the season starts. You would hope.
Yeah, but now you've got to get ready for the massive influx of traffic from Hand of Arsenal and every Arsenal channel.
Trev, we were saying Trev, we said at the beginning of the show. We said at the beginning of the show that I got to start talking about different things if I ever want to become independently wealthy on this thing. So bring it on. All you got to do, if you want to talk about 115, put in a super chat of a large donation, and we will get you on to talk about whatever you want to talk about. Yes, Alan. Yes, Alan.
Martin, I didn't bring that up this time.
We're not going to stay here long. But again, in between the World Cup and the actual kickoff of the season is the ideal time to put this thing to bed. Again, do I expect it to happen? I don't expect anything when it comes to this because it just keeps dragging on. It's the never ending story. But at some point, it's got to come to an end. Even if they
sorry, can I just jump in with something else today? I know you're hosting, but I just want to do this, and I know you probably got it on. But can I just pay tribute to
Kevin Keegan?
Kev? Yeah.
So yes, absolutely. So as you guys know, I've come to my City fandom after his time at the club. So I don't think he ever. I tried to do a little research. He didn't play for us. He was a manager. Is that correct? He was just a manager from like 2001 to like 05 or something like that, or was it 05 to? I'll go back and look.
2001 to 2005, 4-ish.
Okay, yeah, I thought that's what I saw. Well, talk to me about him as a manager and what the club was like at that time.
What I will say to you, Tariq, about King Kev. When he started coaching and managing football, because he was a good player. He played for Liverpool, Hamburg, won the Ballon d'Or, etc. twice when he was at Hamburg. A very successful player.
Wait, did you say he won the Ballon d'Or?
Yeah. Twice.
Wow.
Twice.
Okay.
Twice.
No, he was one of the first massive superstars. He was on boxes of Sugar Puffs.
I saw he had like the floppy hair. That probably went well when he was running up and down the pitch. Yeah,
great player. Great in his day, great player. Then he went to manage because he played for Newcastle at the end of his career in Southampton, and he went to manage Newcastle. And Newcastle at that time were a big club, but stuck in the second tier of English football, near the bottom, and could go down. Okay, and he came on board as as the manager with Terry McDermott as the assistant, who was another ex-Liverpool player, good player as well. And he turned it around. The one thing I'll say about Newcastle fans, and everyone will know this, especially if you lived in England, is they're very, very passionate. One team in the city, and everyone was behind them. They are fanatical. And he turned him around with his personality and the way he played the game. Was very attacking, sometimes probably over-attacking. He kept them up, got them promoted the year after, then started to develop and nearly won the league with them and was picked by United to win the league. He ended up coming to us when we were in a very similar situation. We were in the second tier. We've just been relegated with Joe Royle after 1 year in the Premier League. And he came in and managed us and turned his enthusiasm and his energy, which he had a lot of, into a very similar type of football and energy, and got the place going, not just on the pitch, but off the pitch. The fans loved it. We loved it. I remember going that season. I think I enjoyed every single game he was the manager. He got us promoted, did well the year after. Then he had a fallout with the the chairman at the time because he had no money. And he couldn't. He ended up leaving, and then we got Stuart Pearce, who was the captain under Keane. So, but as far as enjoyable is concerned, football and energy, he had that personality, very positive. He had that charisma, a lot of it. But got us going. And I must admit, even though we were in the Premier League and we finished mid-table-ish, he had everybody going who was a City fan, big time. It was great to watch. So, as a person, very nice person. He had a lot of empathy with everybody. So, you can't deny what he did for us, but not just that, but what he did for football. England, Newcastle, Southampton. He had the same thing happen at Southampton when he was playing there as well. He's a fabulous player.
All right, I'm gonna Solomon. I see you backstage. Hold on, real quick, Trev. Solomon, sorry. I see you're backstage. I'm gonna try to bring you back on. Make sure that your mic and your headphones and your speakers and all that are set and ready to go. Because I'm about to bring you on now. All right, so let's try it. And I don't. Yeah, Solomon, I don't think it's going to work tonight, buddy.
Solomon, I don't think it's going to work tonight, buddy.
All right. Appreciate Solomon. He drums every week, and I would really like to get him on. I'm not going to bring you on, Solomon. It's just not working tonight, man. We'll try again next week, but I appreciate you. And,
I think Callan's having technical difficulties as well. I think Callan's having some technicals. I think you should bring him back next week as well.
I was going to say, I knew there was a joke there. I just knew it. Go ahead, Trev. You were going to say something, I think, about Kevin Keegan before we move.
Yeah, it was. You know, people say about teams, I don't care if we lose as long as we went for it. Well, you could never say that about a Keegan team. When we lost, we were going for it. When we won, we were going for it. It was kamikaze football. It was do or die. And so it
was basically the England-France game. It was no defense to be found anywhere. It was just up and down, quote unquote, a basketball. It was a basketball game. It was.
Yeah, you can take pride in those defeats because you gave it to them.
Yeah.
And we were minnows. And we tried to give it to everybody. The other thing about Keegan that everybody loves is his famous quote. When Alex Ferguson was at the height of his powers and he had a rant to the camera, someone said something that Ferguson had said to him. And the quote is,
I love it. I love it if we beat them.
I will love it if we beat them. Love it. And it just went viral. It was one of the early viral clips, you know, because he just didn't give a shit. And he was a diamond on a beach of marbles. You know, he shone everywhere he went. He was a remarkable man as well. Yeah. He was very humble because his own roots were very humble. You know, and he never lost that common touch. If you like the poem If by Rudyard Kipling, and every man of any age needs to read that poem, by the way. It's an easy read. But, you know, if you can walk amongst kings, yet keep the common touch. And lots of the stories that came out about him, like the one story was that when he went to Newcastle and signed the contract, someone wanted to, I think it was Elton Wellesby wanted to interview him, or someone wanted to interview him, and he had to wait 3 hours because Keegan was determined to sign every single autograph he was asked for. And there was something like 3,000 people turned up to welcome him to the club. He was adored everywhere he went. You can't say that about many people.
That's awesome.
And he left the world in better shape than he found it.
That's awesome.
Especially the football world, you know.
Big up to the original King Kev, as I'm told. So again, not a player or even a manager that I was able to see as far as my time with City and being a football fan in general, but no doubting the impact that he had on this club, and it sounds like clubs up and down the shores of England. So big up
and England.
Yeah, as I said, big up down the shores of England. So big up to King Kevin Keegan.
Can I talk about one bad thing he brought Manchester City?
Really quick. Sure.
I've just got to do it because it still have nightmares now.
You don't speak ill of the dead, so no, go ahead.
No, I know, but no, listen, Keegan was amazing, great football, but he brought me Christian Nagua. I can't forgive him for Christian Nagua. He told me he was going to be the next big thing. I'm like, what are you doing, King? What are you doing, Kev? No need for that. Yeah, there's going to be a tribute show if anyone knows, because our friends over on Black and White Eyes, they're doing a show Thursday night at 8 p.m. There's going to be some recordings from us going on there as well, which will be nice. And then Thursday night we'll do our Kevin Keegan stories as well as other stuff. But yeah, he was just, for me, he brought us a Nelka, he brought us Isle Berkovich. The closest manager for me in the modern era to Kevin Keegan was probably Jurgen Klopp at Liverpool in playing style, in the way he was
the rock and roll football.
Yeah, the back to front football, just go for it, enjoy it, play with a smile on your face. And he said once, he never cared about the old goal difference. That wasn't him. His was about, his Newcastle team and known as the entertainers. He was a greedy bastard at Newcastle. He bought Shearer, Ferdinand, and bloody Tino Asprilla. He just wanted every bugger up there up front. If Keegan could play 10 strikers, he would have done. It's just the way he was. But no, met him once with my dad down at Main Road. First few weeks, I was doing my dad was getting an interview for Andy Buckler. If anyone remembers Andy Buckler, used to work on BBC Manchester, or was it 11:52? One of the two, anyway. And Keegan was there, lovely guy. I can't say enough about him. And yeah, he's just a legend of the game, a legend of football. Yes, he was City manager, and we've got our memories, but he'll always probably be a Newcastle manager and Liverpool as a player. And so, had some lovely things to say for the late, Don Reeve when he managed him over at England. Don Reeve managed Kevin Keegan. So yeah, it's just sad loss to the game.
Yes, sir. Big up again to Kevin Keegan. I was trying to, I shouldn't say it this way, but we're pivoting to starting to think about the new club season. Now that the World Cup is behind us, we're actually moving in that direction. And so to start it off, got to think about what we're going to wear. So these are the kits that we are expected to wear this season. I should put a poll in the chat, but you can just do it in the chat if you want. Alan, which of these is your favorite? Do you like any of them? Do you hate them all?
I love them all, if you want the honest truth. Last season, for argument's sake, I didn't like the home kit. Okay. And I didn't like the grey rainy kit. I thought that was shit. But all three of those are beautiful. So I expect Martin to go down the souvenir shop next week and buy all three.
For you? You sending money? Or are you expecting him to buy it and send it to you?
He will be wearing them on stream within the first few days.
Okay, so this is the right answer right here.
I really won't.
Hold on. Big up to Magnus. I like the Shades of Blue kit. Of course, it's not really the Shades of Blue kit. It's really the 2013, I think it's 2013-14 kit. But I respect that comment. Big up to you, Magnus. Sorry. So you're not going to buy him a kit, or you're not buying your own? Do you like any of these, Martin?
Like the other two, I've seen the black one in real life now, and I didn't like it.
So you saw the black one in real life?
Yeah, it's over there in Cyprus already. Not nice.
You don't like it, huh? What did you not like about it? Was it the pattern?
That yellow is way brighter than anyone. It's basically like a Borussia Dortmund yellow.
I was going to ask you, is it a Dortmund kit?
Yeah, it is that bright. They should have stuck with the original gold sort of that they were going to do, but they've gone with the black and the yellow. and the little bees, which is fine. I love the bee part.
Okay, I was wondering if that. I didn't know if you were gonna like or hate the.
Listen, for me,
pattern.
anything to do with bigging up our great city of Manchester. You know, and I can just see the tag when it comes out. The worker bees of Manchester, and now the worker bees of Manchester City. You can just see the tagline coming in. You know, like they always do, like the 016 one, the Hassie. There's always a tagline when they promote it, and I can just in my head see the worker bees of Manchester City tag being coming out.
There was a hilarious comment from one of the female City fans that I follow, and she said about the white kit, I'm not too sure about the vaginas on the sides.
Yeah, the blue, the
now
diamond
you can't
shapes.
See anything,
yeah.
And then you can't see anything but.
That's funny. So Trev, the home kit. I know a lot of people don't like the fact that it fades into that really light, almost white at the bottom of the shirt. What are your thoughts on the home kit?
Well, I've had some kits like that, but they were usually because they got in a mixed wash with some bleach in it. So. But don't get me wrong, I love the kit. It just looks like it's had a bad wash with the fade, but I'm okay with it. I like it.
Luke, big up to you, brother. Managed to get the
Luke's got the white kit
early.
Nice one.
So I assume you're talking about the third kit.
The white kit's gorgeous.
The third kit.
That's the and that's the actual. Do you remember the fan competition? That's the fan made one.
Because people love the 20, I think it's the 2012, 13, or the 13, 14, whichever one. They love that kit. That was always my favorite kit. And in my head, I still see, and that's probably because,
The Pellegrini one.
Probably yes. But I vividly see David Silva in that kit, right? And to be fair, this was probably early on in my City fandom, right? And so it was probably like the first kit that I was like, oh, I love that. And then it's just become my favorite, and it's always going to be my favorite, right? It's just like one of those things, which is why, to Magnus's point, when we were creating our own shirt for Shades of Blue to celebrate 4 years, we did a vote, and everybody got to figure out, okay, which kit I'm always going to pick that one because that's my favorite. And so that is why our shirt is kind of patterned off of this one. Now, of course, it doesn't look exactly like this. It's more similar to the other one. But
I've just got to point out that DC has dropped a top Mank slang comment, or a Mank saying comment to Luke when Luke said he's got the new kit early. And DC says, nice, Luke. And then this is the Mank bit. Get you. Which is someone will say if anyone's got any new gear.
So, okay, get you.
If they think they look the bee's knees, we'll go, oh, get you.
Okay.
It's something my mum would say. It's something my gran would say. I love it.
So I could see, like if I were here, somebody might be like, so Luke he says that too.
Okay. It might be British, but I always associate that with my mum, my gran, and my gay uncle Terry.
No, so
Terry would say it, but he would drop a wrist when he said it. He'd go, "Oh, get you."
You're wild. Yeah.
He's brilliant.
I might say, okay, I see you, or look at you. So yeah, same thing, same sentiment. I got it. But
Terry would also add another tag to that, though. By the way,
don't
oh.
Look. You already. I'm about to put you off the show along with Solomon because you're gonna get the look. I told you I'm trying to become independently wealthy, and you're gonna take the show away from me before I ever get there.
In authenticity, mate, it's a trap.
Oh, okay, that's fair. That's fair. But no, but so for me, I like all three of these. Actually, I like them a lot. I love the white one just because, again, it harkens back to that other shirt. But I know you've said that it is very bright yellow. I will probably end up buying that shirt. I will wear it with a Pittsburgh Pirates black and yellow hat, not because I'm a Pittsburgh Pirates, which is a baseball. I'm not a Pittsburgh Pirates fan, but because the P for my last name. So that is where I'm going to be wearing this shirt when I go out or when I'm watching the matches or whatever. I've already determined how I'm going to wear it. So yeah, I can see that. I'm awful, Magnus. Is it because I'm awful because I'm already thinking about the fashion?
No, that's another gay reference.
Okay.
Oh, you are awful, but I like you.
Oh, okay. All of you guys.
Dick Emery.
What is
Dick
happening
Emery.
to the show today? What are you guys doing?
Very nice. It's very nice.
I need
Very
to
nice.
let's get you guys talking about something else. No, Luke says he's going to get all 3 kits. I agree. I think I like the selection. I typically don't get all 3 because there's usually one that I don't like. I like all 3 of these, and I got to give credit to Puma. You say full kit wankers? I didn't say I was going to wear the full kit. I just said I'm going to get all 3 of them.
Full kit wankers.
I'm going to wear all 3 of them. There's a difference between that and a full kit wanker, man. Come on. And can I say, what is, I don't even know. I probably do know what a wanker is.
Anyway, it's so hilarious when you hear an American say wanker.
Yeah.
It's so hilarious.
Okay, wanker, here's the hand signal that goes with it.
No. Listen.
No, now do you know what wanker means?
You know what I need? I know what I said. I probably know what it means. I could probably figure it out. I'm not slow. I'm not too slow.
Alan getting carried away.
Yeah.
This is also the universal sign, by the way. Watch out for it this season if you haven't noticed it. If a forward skies a shot and sends it over the bar, everyone behind that goal will go, wow.
Tariq, I don't know if you noticed, everyone's doing this because they're trying to avoid the main subject.
I was gonna say because what's coming up next?
We're trying to avoid
up next is transfer talk.
Get out of it.
We got to talk transfers. Okay, so you don't want to talk transfers.
We really don't.
Let's talk about
We
Pep.
really don't.
Let's talk about Pep. Pep is been sounded out by the Italian Federation, Italy.
He spent a minute.
What'd you say?
It didn't last long.
Yeah, I was gonna say it didn't last very long.
It didn't last long.
They asked the question. He said, "Appreciate it, thanks, but no thanks." And then he moved on. Yeah. And he's like, basically, I have to. He said he will spend at least 1 year away from football, away from managing, and all that.
Tariq, not just that, and this has gone so under the carpet with everyone, including some City fans. He has actually still got a job.
Yes.
And everyone's ignored it because you will see what he did the other day when he did the cryptocurrency interview.
The cryptocurrency interview?
The OKX, whatever it is.
The interview where he said that he would love to coach Neymar. The one that he said he loved.
Gotcha.
Anyway, swiftly moving on. The whole point was he's doing that because he's not. This is part of his role as well, where you're going to see him doing more interviews with club sponsors, things like that, because this is where his club ambassador for the CFG sort of comes in and things like that. He's going to do things, because OBX are our shirt sleeve sponsor from 2025, I believe. I think they are. I think it's OBX or OBK, one of the two. But yeah, they're our shirt sleeve sponsors. So there was an interest there. So that's why I don't think he will. I think he'll have a year out.
Yeah, for sure.
And then have a nice rest. And then just recharge the batteries. And because I did ask, he will have to leave. If he gets another role, he'll have to leave his ambassador role at there. He won't be able to do that.
And then just become an ambassador when it's all said and done.
Yeah, and afterwards. I think it's a role he can always come back to.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
But he won't be able to do both at the same time.
Pushing the bad news off a little bit further.
Good, keep going.
We brought in a player. We brought in a player named Elliot Anderson. We finally got that officially all wrapped up. Well, it was wrapped up during the World Cup, but now you see him leaving his comments for the Forest. He says, Forest family, firstly, I am so grateful for the love and support you have shown me over the last 2 years, especially towards the end of this season. From the minute I walked through the door, I fell in love with this club. I want to thank all the staff and the players for welcoming me and making my time here so enjoyable. This club gave me the opportunity to grow as a player and as a person. Bringing the club European football again after 29 years is what all of you fans deserved, and to be a helping hand in that is so special. Nottingham Forest will always have a special place in my heart. Thank you for all the unforgettable memories. Thoughts? What are your thoughts on his Twitter posts? Social media posts.
Beautiful.
Yeah. I think that
the responses from Forest fans are actually commendable. We won't be getting what we got from Villa when we signed Jack. They won't be booing him every time he touches the ball against them. I hope not anyway, because that was appalling by Villa. And it infected a load of other clubs. He was getting booed at places like Fulham, every time he touched the ball that first season. Why were fans of other clubs booing him? Because he left Villa to join City. Yeah. It made no sense, but it happened. It was a contagion. It was weird. So don't do that, Forest fans. Anyone watching? Unlikely, but
Right, I'm boarding a plane in 30 minutes, so should we get to?
All right, go ahead.
Trev's got a cuppa
I'll be right back.
Trev's off to make his cuppa.
Go ahead, Martin. Or should I call you? This is the ITK segment.
No, it's not ITK. There's only one thing to go with it, innit? Yeah, he wants to go to Real Madrid.
So I have a tweet. I'm not going to pull it up, but it says breaking. And Florentino Perez is now much more open to signing Rodri this summer, and Real Madrid already has the player's approval. From a contractual standpoint, the two parties are already very close. However, there are still no negotiations with Man City, and that came from Mate.
There's been no direct talks. The person that we get the info off, and I won't name them, their own thing, confirmed. They said they think he will leave this summer for Real Madrid.
They think,
in their opinion, they think he'll go. He wants to go. His reps have discussed things. It's down to whether they want to pay a fee now and what the fee is. I do think City will still try and change the mind. I do think City will still try and sit down and talk to him. Whether it can change anything, I don't know. The news is, I know it's come from Moretti as well tonight, who's Fabrizio's number 2 guy. I know the Madrid media have hyped it up and everything else, and they've done their usual PR, but yeah, it does seem, I think, his performances at the World Cup have come probably to our, I don't want to say detriment. I don't want to say that
because they may not have gone for him this year if he didn't play as well as he did.
Yeah, this is what I think it is. I think his performances have gone up here, right? The real Rodri is back, so yeah, we'll do it. Listen, if they come back with a derisory offer, they can fuck off. Obviously, it's going to.
So this is what I was going to say, because we as a club have a tendency to say, if you want to go, we're not going to hold you hostage. We'll let you go. However, you have to bring in an offer that we think is fair. Based on Rodri's time with the club, everything that he has given, what do you think City will think is a fair offer? Because, we were willing to let Bernardo go forever, but there was never an offer that we thought was fair, or at least as far as I know. Let me just say it that way.
I don't know. Do you want the emotional answer, or do you want the objective?
So the emotional answer, and I've seen people in the chat 100 million. Governor says 80 million. Ash says 80 million.
I don't think you're going to get that with a year in his contract.
So I mean, to me, 50 is unacceptable. DC says not a quid less than 100 million. I agree. Fed up with being mugged off by other clubs.
No, but hang on, Terry, I would agree if he had a 3 or 4 year deal down, 100, 150. I get it. He's got 12 months.
Yeah.
We've also got to be, I know this is what I mean by the emotional answer. We're not going to get 80 to 100.
Yeah, but
which then becomes the question: do you want him to go for free next year? Because, by the way, the backlash has already started on him from some big accounts. The backlash has come already.
They already made a fail count on him now.
There are people who have big accounts talking big. I won't name them out of respect. It's their opinion, but they have already put tweets out tonight slating him. And slating his agents and everything else. And I get it. It's going to hurt. I don't know. I just don't know because, for me, I still hope there's a chance he does stay. I do think he wants Madrid. I think he's always wanted Madrid. I don't know. I'm a bit. Yeah, I didn't think we were going to lose. To me, I don't think the club can afford to lose the amount of experience we're losing out of this team right now. We're losing too much.
So,
plus a new manager, we're losing too much.
So, Alan, all I want is a number. What is a number that you would accept if Rodri is to go? When we can't hold him hostage. What is a number you would accept?
80.
Spartacus, what's the number you would expect or you would accept?
40.
40. Wow. Okay. I don't know if Trev is around. Trev, what's the number you would accept? He may have stepped away. Dylan, what's your number?
80.
80. Ian Dunn says 65. So Martin, what's your number?
I'm around 60 to 70 in between there. That's what I think I'll end up with.
Yeah. This is not the same. I don't know if it's the same. Let me say it that way. But Corey,
City have no power. City have no power in this.
Hold on. Corey says they paid for Eden Hazard $100 million with 1 year on his contract. So I don't know if we get $100 million, but so I think I don't know what age Eden Hazard was when he left. He's probably younger. That being said, Martin, you just said we have. What did you say? We have no what?
City have no power in this at the moment.
No power.
It's all in Rodri's hands.
It is, but at the end of the day, if we don't get a number that we like, just like we didn't get a number that we liked,
we're losing for free.
Yes, and that's okay because this year with him, if we go and we win the lot, then it'll be worth it at the end.
But this is where I disagree. And again, this is just my opinion. You're playing with a player who you know deep down don't want to be there.
But you know what? If he's a professional, if he's a professional in the way that Bernardo Silva was a professional, who for probably 3 to 4 years let it be known that he would like to leave, but he worked every single year because the number never came in. Nobody went until he went out there. He let it be known he wanted to leave, but once the season started, he gave us every single thing
that was different. No, because that was a bit different because we put a release clause in for him.
Corey, I hope to God that 29 is not a number that you would accept for Rodri.
It's about Hazard's age.
Okay. Thank you. Because I was going to say 29, we could put that together out of our own pockets.
Bernardo is different.
Calm down on that one.
Bernardo had a release clause.
You got big money. You got big money out there, I hear. So, you got it.
I'll tell you who has got big money. KP Masters 4857 with the super chat, $5.
Yes. So I was going to get to that in a minute, but let's go ahead and get it now since you brought it up. Van Hecke was sold for $52 million with 1 year left from Brighton to Spurs. No less than $100 million or he rots on the bench. I'm tired of our club being shafted. KP, I appreciate the super chat. I appreciate the comment. I don't think that I would let him rot on the bench unless he just refused to play. I don't have to sell him. And at the end of the day, he's worth too much to me. I'm going to play you even if you, unless you are just like, again, if you throw your, to use a British phrase or an English phrase, to throw your toys out the pram. See how I know all this stuff? I've been watching English football for so long. I'm starting to sound English to myself. But no, I wouldn't throw the toys out the pram and whatever, but I would absolutely not sell him for less than I'm comfortable with.
The thing that we need to...
but big up KP. I appreciate the super chat, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate the support.
The thing that we have to be very vigilant about amongst the fan base, I don't know how much impact we can have on it, but I've seen some signs of it already. And I think that some people will deal with their separation anxiety over Rodri by slandering him. And I think that would be wrong. I've written extensively about this. I can't begin to tell you about my thoughts about this because it took 5 paragraphs. It's worth reading. Go and look it up on my X account. But it's the sanest thing that I've written about it, and it's the sanest thing that I've read about it, and I wrote it. But it put a lot of things all in one place, and it cuts through a lot of the noise and the agendas. But my main concern now, because I saw it raise its head, I'm not going to name who did it, but it's quite a big person in the space, accusing Rodri of twerking and lifting his skirt for Real Madrid, which is not true and didn't happen. But I think that some people are dealing with separation anxiety over Rodri by getting angry with him, and that would be wrong and disrespectful and inappropriate, and they need to grow up.
That's my worry,
and we need to be vigilant. Yeah, and we need to be vigilant.
This is why if he wasn't going to extend it, rather him go now.
Confront these people. I
don't think it matters about confronting him, Trev, because I think fans are going to turn on him no matter what.
It's in my nature.
But the issue with
fans are going to turn on him because this is where I was going to say this is different to Bernardo in their eyes because Bernardo did extend.
But what I'll say to this, right?
But I think for us older fans, this is a time for leadership and showing by example. And not
Trev, that person you're talking about.
Hold on.
Martin, has he actually said out of his own mouth he wants to leave?
Alan, no, because I know you do this all the time. Pep told everyone he was doing 1 more year, Alan. He was blatantly telling us he was protecting.
This isn't that. This isn't that.
No, I'm not saying it is, but can we stop doing this unless the person says that it's not happening?
Yeah, we can't. Football. So we're not going to stick our head in the sand and hide from it. It's the reality.
Can't do an ostrich.
As long as we can stop believing as gospel everything that comes out of Madrid on Madrid Extra and Madrid News and any of the propaganda.
Mine isn't from Madrid. Mine isn't from Madrid.
Yeah. So if all we had was
talking to the general listenership here.
So I would say I agree with you. I agree with you that if all we have is just the Spanish perspective, that could be slanted, right? That's going to have a particular slant to it. It's going to have a Spanish slant.
It's blatant propaganda.
I was going to say it's serving their purpose. So they're going to slant it in a way that serves them and their club, right?
Yes.
So respecting that. Hold on.
Madrid Zone an hour ago. Listen to this one. Confirmed. Rodri is, capital letters, desperate to join Real Madrid. He is going crazy. It's absolute propaganda.
So but that's my point.
Not nuanced.
That's my point.
Propaganda.
But we don't know that it's so. It is the way it is written. It is intended to 1, get clicks, 2, to draw attention, and potentially. But what is Madrid Zone going to do with the price? That who cares? The price has anybody hold on. Nobody on social media has anything to do with the price. The only people that care about the price or have any impact on the price are the backroom staff, the folks like the Vianas and all of them. They don't care what Madrid's on or any of the player season, if it's Sergio season, Foden season. I don't care. I'll call the names out because I don't care. I'm just that guy.
City actually did it over Anderson. Anderson's desperate to join City.
Yeah, exactly. But so again,
we did it back the other way.
Yeah,
that's just aggregators and what they do.
And so we hear things from whoever we hear it from, and we position it so that our perspective. Again, my kid is trying to go into PR, right? It's about presenting your perspective, to a certain extent, spinning your story, putting that out there so people can hear your. So I understand what that's happening. Hold on. So I understand what is happening. I don't think that impacts the price at all. I think that's a Viana, whatever. However, that being said, I can't sit here and say, well, there's no truth to it either, right? I can't sit here and try to avoid it or ignore it or hide from it. The reality is that there is a strong possibility, or I won't even say strong, there is a possibility that Rodri might leave this season before the season starts. That is a very real possibility. And I think that anybody who, one, we have to accept that. But then two, if you throw away all that Rodri has done because he wants to leave now at the tail end of his career, I think that is unfair to the player, to his history, and to all that he has given to this club. And my issue is we allow people like Player Season on Twitter, whichever one it is, or all of the above, we allow them to dictate, or you said that, hey, there's going to be a group of people that are going to criticize the player, abuse the player, because these people are trying to get clicks. They're doing this to get clicks because that's how they're probably getting paid. I don't know them personally. They may be perfectly fine people, but I think it's unfair. I think it's unfair to talk about or to assume that everyone is going to criticize the player because they do, and whatever. Go ahead. I'll let you say what you're going to say.
All right. I understand about clicks. I understand about aggregators. There is a difference between what those two Real Madrid accounts do and all of the others.
But I don't care about Real Madrid accounts. They're supposed to do that.
What they are dependent on Real Madrid for their livelihood, for their information, for everything. Okay. And the quid pro quo is that they put out messaging that Real Madrid wants the world to know. They are active propaganda agents. And if you go and read their stuff like I have, not just about City, about everything that Real Madrid do, it's not partisanship. It's not doing it for clicks. It's actual club messaging.
But so this is the difference.
What the club wants out into the world.
Yeah, but this is the difference.
You see the patterns of it, and it's different to aggregators, and it's different.
Yeah.
To people who are trying to be influencers.
I hear you, and I get that, right? But what I'm saying is, from Real Madrid focused accounts are doing what Real Madrid focused accounts would be expected to do in this moment. Martin has already said that when we were going after Elliot Anderson, our City-focused accounts were doing very similar type things.
But
maybe you don't think it's as to the.
They weren't instructed. By
but you say that because you don't know. I don't know either. Now I'm not suggesting that it is or it isn't. I don't know it. And we assume that in this case for these Real Madrid accounts that they are being instructed by the account by the club as a whole. Okay. I don't know that. I can't say it is or it isn't. But as a City, but hold on. As a City,
I have a Haaland contract when the thing was going on. Those were the two main accounts. There's one other who were pushing that out. The guy, the Riquelme, who said, "I have a signed contract," and they reported that as legit. They didn't question it. Right? This is instructions. This is messaging from the club.
So, but again, I don't care about that. What I care about, Trev, is City-focused accounts who find the need to criticize the player. This is my thing. I don't care anything about what Real Madrid or Real Madrid focus. I don't care.
That's where I came in saying
my issue is the City-focused accounts. If any of them are criticizing or whipping up a mob to get on Rodri because he doesn't resign, and if he doesn't resign, we need to this, that. No, that's what I care about, because because in theory they're out here trying to represent my club, and now I have a problem with that, and I have a problem with you treating these legends, because let's be honest, Rodri is a legend, and he will be even if he leaves. It does not change his status. He is a legend,
Correct.
And we need to accept the fact that he might leave, and that's just the reality.
Yeah, the one thing I will say, hang on, we just have to be, Trev's got a point in the propaganda, I agree with that.
Yes, I agree.
City Extra is slightly different, but it does have ties to the club, hence it gets all the training pictures immediately.
So Freddie Pie.
Martin, I wasn't saying that out loud.
No, but I will. I don't care. But the thing is, Freddie does get the stuff from the club as well.
Yeah,
there is connections with the club. So
did you mean to say a name right there, Martin?
I wasn't saying the name. I didn't say the name. Someone else.
Everybody
said the
knows
name.
Freddie Pie owns City Extra. Everybody knows that Freddie Pie has a relationship going back with the club.
Stop saying his name.
No, because it's in the public accounts. It's in the record book.
Okay.
When he writes on the City Extra website, he signs off as Freddie Pie.
Oh, okay.
It's not
I just didn't know, so I didn't know.
Anonymous.
No, I don't know.
Because I'm going to jump in 10. The one thing I'll say that when you asked me a question about Bernardo, it's slightly different to Bernardo. Is Bernardo signed an extension with a release clause? So yes, he did want to leave at some point, but he stayed, extended up, got the wage increase. Rodri's a bit different. If Rodri signed the extension and we put a release clause in, then I think it's different. Very much like, do you remember how Ronaldo did it with Man U, where he agreed with United to stay one more year, and then he would get his move to Real Madrid the year after for the 80 million quid. I think if something, obviously it's different numbers now, if something like that could be arranged, I think people would be a bit sweeter. I think people are a bit upset is because Rodri's turning down a contract. He's openly saying he doesn't want to stay at City because he wants to go to Madrid. Is that a bad thing? Yeah, I know some City fans are going to take it to heart and, oh my God, it's wrong. And I keep saying this, he's won everything possible at Manchester City. There is not a trophy he has not won. He has completed football, including the Ballon d'Or, including the World Cup, the Euros, every single trophy you can possibly get, he has won in a Manchester City jersey or representing Manchester City Football Club for his country. He is not a City fan. He will love City. He will, but I keep saying it. Maybe, I know people don't like this. Maybe he just wants to go home or put on the Real Madrid jersey one time when he's not 34. Maybe he wants to do it while he's still got some gas left in the tank. It's not a criticism to Manchester City. It's not a downwards thing on Manchester City. It's not a City of shit, get me out of here. I'm going to say another thing that people's avoided here. And this is just a question. I was going to post this on Thursday night in a show. Maybe Pep leaving's had a bigger impact on the club than people imagine it's had.
Tiki leaving had a bigger impact.
And people don't want to realise that.
Massive, Martin. Pep is a huge draw for players. And when he leaves, there's a question mark over that. And it's the truth. It is.
One word answer, Anderson. Anderson, would just think of any club in the world. Came to City.
No, but Trev, that's fine. But he's not Rodri.
No, he's not.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
He's also not a Ballon d'Or winner.
So no. So okay, really quickly, I know you said you have to get on a plane here in a little bit, and so first of all, hope you have safe travels.
You're going to ask me about replacements, aren't you?
I'm going to ask you about Buwadi.
There has been no formal moves on Buwadi.
I'll say, according to Twitter, exclusively.
I know there's been no actual formal. See, again, you got to be careful because apparently Savio was going to Tottenham 3 days ago. He's been at the City training camp for the last 3 days. So fucking funny Tottenham. Funny Tottenham is running around it at the moment, isn't it? Even though we've got a fee agreed, he's still rolling down the City thing. I think they like Buwadi. I do think and I'm guessing now, I'm surmising, so this is just me guessing. I think they're probably waiting on the Rodri decision. Because I think if Rodri leaves, I think that may change who they go for. Who they go for?
Martin, do we still see Elliot Anderson and Adam Wharton as the same player?
No, I still don't think Adam Wharton will come.
But do we still see them as the same player? Do we still have this gross misconception of what a player
I don't know,
is?
because I'm not asked about Wharton, because Wharton's not been on the agenda for 12 months.
Bruno G, Alex Scott.
Alex Scott has been mentioned. Yes. Alex Scott is there. Bruno J, no words on Bruno J. Nothing on Bruno J.
That might have been a Pep thing.
That might have been a Pep thing, the Bruno J. I'm not sure it's a Maresca thing. I don't know. The honest question is, Tariq, I don't know where we move, because I genuinely...
I think
I'm going to be honest. I'm quite shocked. I'm quite shocked that this could happen. I genuinely thought, worst case scenario, he would do his final year and leave on a free.
And again, he still might, right? We don't know.
Yeah, he still might, and he still might extend. I'm just saying that I don't. This version of events that is being reported at the minute wasn't in my wheelhouse. Wasn't in my thinking, because the news was Madrid weren't coming. They were not coming.
Yeah. So what about so of course we got, let's say the names. We got Buati, we got already here, we have Bruno G. We got Nico G, right? No, okay. All right, I hear that. So then you got to go get a Buati, or you mentioned, I think that was Spartacus who just did that. So you mentioned Adam Wharton. To me, the ideal scenario is you just tell Rodri you can go on a free. If you don't want to extend, you go on a free. We pair you with Elliot Anderson. We go get, even if we're gonna get rid of Nico G, we go get Buati. You sit there, you learn from Rodri, and you go on and you just call it a day. But you mentioned Savio. I assume there's no movement there.
No, he's all dead, quiet.
So I want to ask about a player who technically is no longer a City player, but John Stones has been linked with Arsenal after Saliba's injury. I saw something today, I think it was, that he was also linked with Chelsea potentially.
It's almost like he's a good player, isn't it?
Yeah, of course, he's always been a good player.
Can I ask you a genuine question?
Yes.
With the potential players leaving, we've lost Ake, we've lost Bernardo, potentially going to lose Kovacic, potentially could lose Rodri. Is anyone worried about the amount of experience leaving this football club right now?
Absolutely.
Nah, they're all unks. We don't need unks.
No, I definitely think there is absolutely a concern about those players that you mentioned.
And the only reason I asked, Tariq, is because the people being linked to being brought in are 18 and 19-year-olds.
Well, and this is my issue, even with the Buati. I don't mind, because again, I didn't see. I haven't seen what everyone else has seen in the World Cup, right? I think he's a okay player, but I don't see, he's going to be the next great thing. Maybe he will. I just don't see it, because again, I don't got the vision like that. But
yes, right.
What's up?
I have no doubt that he can be a great player, but he's very, very, very similar to Anderson.
Yeah. So again, maybe he will be, but I don't know. So yes, I'm concerned about, and he's so young, right? I'm very much concerned.
I was totally happy with Buadi learning off Rodri for the year, Tariq. Asking Buadi to come in and be straight away.
Exactly. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Cisco says, watch Stones log 3,000 minutes for whatever club he goes to next. So yeah, that would be
that's true, by the way. Chelsea are 100% looking at him.
If you had to see him go to one of those two clubs, he's going. Let's say he's going to London. It's Chelsea or it's Arsenal.
Chelsea.
You'd rather him go to Chelsea? If he goes to Arsenal, does that change how you see him?
No, I just think
it should.
playing,
Okay,
I think
good.
playing under Xabi Alonso would suit him better than playing under Lego Ed.
If he goes to, he'd be playing in a back three potentially for Xabi. He'd be the center back. You think?
I mean, I think he'd play at Arsenal because obviously the Saliba injury.
Exactly. I think
I don't
for me,
know.
we're competing with Arsenal. I wouldn't want to see him go. I would not want to see him go to Arsenal. We're competing with them at the top of the table for trophies. Don't go there. He doesn't care about that. He doesn't care about that.
Tariq, the way we're moving at the minute, we might be competing with fucking Chelsea.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's true. Chelsea has. I mean, Chelsea's been doing all right. So whatever.
I'm
What'd
sorry,
Dylan, I can't hear you. You guys speak up.
Can I ask, Martin, before you get on a plane, can I ask you a question? Everyone, really. What exactly of the type of profile of players do we actually want? Because it seems to be one thing's being done by City, which is sign young players, very young players, potential. And the other side of the flip of the coin is signing world superstars that are already there already. What exactly do we want as a football club right now?
You have to have both. You can't be one or the other, in my opinion. Go ahead, Martin. He was asking.
To replace Rodri, I don't want a kid.
Okay.
I'm not saying you're going to get the Rodri. I know. Listen, I'm not stupid enough. There is no Rodri replacement. But go and get the next best you can. Try and have a go at it. I'm not saying
don't take Camavinga. Matthew Hoyle says, "Do we take Camavinga?"
No, because
the problem we've got, Marty, if we let Rodri go for a cheap amount in everybody's eyes to get someone of what you just said,
the only one out there I'm going to say is Bruno. The only one out there is putting the money down for Bruno.
No,
nobody else.
Bruno is not a six.
Hold on. Hey, everybody, hold on for a second. Yeah. Dylan, go ahead. I haven't heard from you in a while. Hold on, Alan.
No.
Dylan, go ahead.
What do you guys get Caicedo
from Chelsea? I don't think they would let him go, but you talked about somebody being very similar to Elliot Anderson. I feel like he's very similar to Elliot. He's going to be more of a destroyer. Passing range is okay, but not
I'll
great.
I'll take either at that point. I'll take Caicedo or Bruno. But for me, see, it's all right, Spike, because it's all right saying that, but we don't play players in the right position anyway.
We didn't used to. You don't know what we do now. No, it's all up in the air.
You know, he can play six because they originally wanted Bruno as the Rodri backup anyway.
Yeah. Go ahead, Alan. You were going to say something.
The problem is, if let's say Rodri does go for X amount, we would regard as cheap because he's only got 1 year left. If we were to buy the ready-made answer that had got experience, you're talking everywhere above north of 100 million. We can't keep spending 100 million plus. We can't.
But even and again, there's no concrete rumors that I'm aware of. But even like Buati, they're talking close to 100 million. So if you're gonna spend 100 million, go get Bruno G. Don't spend 100 million on an unproven player. Go get someone that you know is going to be at the top for the next 3 years, 4 years. I don't know. That's my opinion.
For me, and I'll say this, my biggest issue right now is too much experience. And right now, all I'm bringing in, I'm not, other than Elliot Anderson, all we brought in are kids. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with bringing kids in and matching the future and everything else. I'm not saying that. But we are not Chelsea Football Club. Stop acting like Chelsea Football Club and act like Manchester City.
But I mean, like Chelsea went and got Morgan Rogers, so Chelsea's not acting like "quote unquote."
But that's
Chelsea
what I'm
anymore.
saying. That's what exactly. So it's like we've taken over the mantle of it here, and we're signing. I don't want a kid or an inexperienced guy to take over Rodri. Get him to come in and buy him as well and learn. No problem with that, because I think we do need to buy a couple of midfielders, but not the Rodri replacement. You can't gamble on it. That can't be a gamble.
No, I agree with that. I agree because again, the
problem
if you're
is,
going
Martin,
to, but let's say
if you cost us a lot of money, it's going to cost us a lot of money, and we're not going to get a lot of money for Rodri. We can't.
So what? Well, tough, Alan. We've got no choice. We've got the money. It's time we do it.
Yeah.
Stop spending 30 million quid on fucking Toys R Us and Children's World, and we won't have a problem down this road.
Somato anyway. Big up to you. I don't understand why City just don't go get Wharton. This is in lining up with Spartacus.
The thing
here.
is, nobody's moving for Wharton. See, everyone keeps telling me about Wharton. No one's moving for him. Nobody.
Liverpool.
Are they?
Yeah.
Very close.
Well, hang on a minute. I got told. Well, when I see it, I believe it, because they ain't moving for him.
They're also moving for Nico G as well. But hey ho.
Yeah, because Nico G is the cheaper alternative.
Say that again. So this is what I was gonna say. If we can't get, we have Nico G. We have an asset right there. I don't think he may not. Okay. So I hear you, right? I'm not gonna argue that point because I don't know. You're probably you probably know better than I do, right? So I'm not gonna argue that point. What I will say is we have a person here that, if nothing else, can be the bridge between now and say next season when we have to go get that player. Again, I hear you say he's not good enough, and whatever. What I will say is I saw him when Rodri was not available. Was he perfect? No, but he did a job and he did it very well. And when you look at the stats for the job that he did, then the time that he was doing it, he was up towards the top of the Premier League in that job that he was doing. You can tell me he's not good enough, and you're probably right. You might be right.
Stats.
What you say?
Not in passing stats because he can't move the ball forward.
Tariq. Let me
Yes.
just say this in simple terms. If Rodri wants to go, fine, but he ain't going anywhere if we can't get a good replacement. So if there's no one on the table that's good enough that can take us forward, then he stays where he is. It's a business.
Right, but that's not Alan. But that's my issue here. I'm not sure, Rod. Right now, I don't know if I want a sulky Rodri. And everyone goes, well, Rodri will put his professional head on and away we go. I think it's going to be a rough year because all the fans will know where he's going at the end of the season.
Yeah,
everyone will know. I don't think I don't think it's going to end nicely, and I don't think it'll help the camp. I think it'll have an effect on the dressing room. I think it'll have an effect onto the fans in the stadium as well. And I don't want that for Rodri. I want Rodri to go out in the way Rodri deserves to go out, as a hero. If Rodri stays this final year, I think Rodri's going to end up going out in the way that's going to break my heart, because I'm going to end up fighting with every fucker that's going to slag him off. I'm going to end up fighting with everyone. I'll be fighting with people in the stadium who are booing him. I'll be fighting with you and the rest of the idiots on YouTube. I'll be fighting with every fucker on X, because everyone's going to call him a rat.
Why do we got to be idiots? Why do we got to be idiots on YouTube? That's offensive.
No, I don't mean you. Bloody hell, Tariq. You sound like the other half.
I'm just Hey, did you say that loud enough where she could hear you?
No, I'm going in a minute because she's gone to the gate.
I was gonna say that's gonna be a long trip for you. If she heard
sleep, don't worry.
Don't get emotional, Martin.
Hey, no, have a good trip, man. I know you got to get on your plane, but have a good trip. Be safe, and we will see you.
I'd rather get on my plane than get on my bike.
What's the joke there?
But getting on your bike means you're leaving, often reluctantly.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
You can insult somebody by saying on your bike. It's like telling them to do one.
Yeah, that I didn't get that one. Sorry.
All it is for me, to put it bluntly, to wrap it up. If Rodri stays and doesn't extend, I don't see it ending nicely, and I don't think he deserves that. I think he deserves to go out a hero the way everyone else went out. And I just
that's
don't
think that's what you think, Martin. If he doesn't extend, it's good. Yeah, I agree. It's not going to end well, but that's down to him, right?
That's why I'm saying it won't end well, because people have already turned on him. And it isn't just fans on YouTube. I'm talking older generational fans on big accounts have already put shit out tonight.
If he doesn't extend, right, and wants to play out his year and then go on a free, for me, he can sit on a fucking bench for a season.
But yeah, this is not like KDB or Bernardo, where we didn't know where he was going.
And that's toxic, Alan. I'm sorry, but that's toxic.
I was going to say immature, but toxic is a better word.
Some respect.
Yeah. Again, I understand being disappointed. I understand being upset, but to be like, he's got to.
Anyway, mate, he's on $450 a week.
Later, Martin.
No, he's not. He's on 180.
I doubt the number is either one of those things.
Where'd you pull that out from?
I doubt the number is. I doubt the number is either one of those things. 180 feels very, 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 very low.
Okay, the biggest number I could find in half an hour's research on how much he's on is 220. He's 220. It's not 450.
220 for Rodri is what you're saying.
That's what
I'm make sure we're talking about right.
180 to 220 is his current contract. 220 is the highest figure I could find quoted by anybody. All tier ones, by the way. All reputable, all the people that we think are tell us the truth.
To be fair, the number I'm seeing that I typically report says 220. 220 for Rodri.
That's the highest. 180 is the lowest.
So again, which is why we have a contract in front of him. He hasn't signed it, so at least as of yet. So maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. We will see. Magnus,
go and read the long post I made about it.
Magnus, I don't know how I should feel about this. My rod out. That doesn't sound right, man. I don't know. I don't know exactly. Pause. Thank you. I appreciate it. Anyway, moving on. So. Again, we kind of hit a lot of stuff. We try to do it pretty quickly so we can make sure that we get anything and everything out of Martin. There was... So I want to... So this is what I'm going to say. I'm going to ask about Vinny Jr. I don't want to talk about the pictures, right? I don't want to talk about that. I don't know what that's about.
What pictures?
We're going to leave the pictures alone. So Vinny Jr. to City. Now, do I expect this to happen? No. But would anybody say no so again, let's just say for the sake of this that we know Rodri wants to go. He wants to go. Would you facilitate any type of a swap or whatever that looks like? I hear you shaking your head no.
He's an arsehole as a person.
So you say as of a person. Now I can let me separate what you think he does on the pitch, right? If you don't like the dancing or whatever.
He's putting in a changing room out like a spoiled brat, like he is, right? And start like.
So I don't know what you're referring to, right? I don't know what you're referring to.
Well, you see every single game he plays.
No, what you see, Alan, what you see is him. Admittedly, he scores a goal. He goes to the corner flag. He dances. People don't like that. I don't know why. I mean, everybody dances. Everybody celebrates. Everybody does something.
I hate to say it, he's a CUNT.
But okay, I hear you. I don't know that I have seen anything that would make me agree with that sentiment. Again, you can say I don't like the dancing. That's fine. But do you like it when Haaland does his celebrations? Do you like it when Phil Foden scores and he does his little sniper? Everybody has something. When Doku was doing the gritty or whatever it's called, whatever, he was doing his little dance. Everybody does something to celebrate. Why do we feel the need to criticize Vinny Jr.?
Because he's a shit house.
He's a twat.
No, he's a shit house. He does shit housery.
But that is the same thing you said about Bernardo.
No. There's a difference. You were right in something that you said earlier about shithouses.
They're on your team.
When they're on your team, they're your shithouse.
Yes.
And that's the kind of thing you love. But he is a shithouse. We're signing a shithouse if we sign him. And there have been two players that we've had that, one I did one, which was Bernardo.
You can talk about Balotelli.
No.
Okay.
Balotelli wasn't a shithouse. He was funny. But Craig Bellamy, I used to hate him when he played against us. I hated him. I didn't want him at our club. Then when he came to our club and I started to learn more about him, he still did shithousery. But when I learned more about him and his charity work and the stuff that he'd done in Africa, which he was hands-on involved in, that's how he spent his off-season. He wasn't just putting money into something and going, I did a good thing. He was actually involved in stuff. So, then I learned more about his actual character as opposed to the media character, which is all the information I had before. I love the guy. I loved him. And he was still a shithouse, but he was our shithouse then.
So Martin asked the question, plus we've just extended Doku on improved terms. Is he benched now? Is Vinny won't be on the bench, sit or rotate? So let me just be honest, right? So I don't know who you're talking to, Spartacus. But for me, I like Doku. I can admittedly say that Doku is not better than Vinny Jr. He's just not. He's not. So yes, if it came down to only one of them can play on the left, it would be Vinny Jr. who would be playing on the left. That's just the reality. Now, I think that Doku could potentially move over to the right. Him and Semenyo, they're going to be whatever. But if you go get Vinny Jr., you are getting a player that is going to play most matches in the same way that Haaland plays most matches. And he's probably one of the best in the world at his position. So why would you not? Why would he leave
Real Madrid?
He may not. And so I preface this by saying that this is not going to happen, right? But I have to talk about it because it's in the news. It's whatever, right? So we're talking about it, even if I don't think it will actually happen.
No,
of course not. Here. Get Dewey or Barcola. I was having a conversation on another channel last night. Big up Hussam for having me on. Some people think that Barcola is not really, I don't want to say they're not good, but they wouldn't pay the money for him. I thought Barcola did well in the World Cup. I don't think that he is yet a clinical finisher. In that respect, he can probably remind me of Raheem Sterling in some ways, because Raheem was never what I would say a clinical finisher. He scored a lot of goals, but I wouldn't say, he was a great finisher. No. So yes, I would take Bradley Barcola. I would absolutely take him. I don't know that I would take him for, 100+ million. I don't know that he necessarily benches Doku in the same way that Vinny Jr. would, but I think he would be a great asset to have in our squad. I don't know where he ends up, but I don't think that ends up happening either. So we'll have to see. All right. Let's see. What else do I have on my list? And we already talked about Savinho. So let me ask. So Spartacus, before I leave this, Vinny Jr., you are a Brazilian. You are a fan of Brazil. See you, Alan. Appreciate you, man.
Hey, man.
How do you feel about Vinny Jr.?
I don't like him very much, if I'm going to be honest. Don't think he's sexy at all.
I mean, not the way we were playing before, for sure, and probably not the way we're going to play under Maresca either. Okay, fair enough. I didn't know if there was anything else that you wanted to say about that, but All right. I think so of course, looking at other teams for a moment, Arsenal got beat to Morgan Rogers by Chelsea. That was, of course, now we're seeing all the comments about how they really didn't want him or all the reasons why it happened as opposed to just being beat. Maybe Chelsea just paid the money. Maybe they weren't willing to pay it. I don't know. But at the end of the day, I think it was thought that Morgan Rogers was going to end up at Arsenal, and instead he ended up crosstown at Chelsea. Were you guys shocked by that move?
Yeah, out of nowhere that happened. It was funny though. Laughing Arsenal fans.
Spartacus, what about you? Were you surprised by that decision? Uh-oh. Did we lose Spartacus? All right, we'll move on. Al Hilal. Al Hilal have reached an agreement with West Ham United to sign Crescencio Somerville. We know he played for West Ham. We went to the World Cup playing for, I believe, the Netherlands, if I remember correctly. Deal for the 24-year-old winger was worth about 80 million euros. And the Netherlands international scheduled to undergo his medical long-term contract ready pending final authorizations. I am surprised that I guess I shouldn't be, I'm going to say a kid because he's only 24, but a kid basically in his prime choosing to leave Europe to go to Al Hilal. Now, I don't know what his wages are going to be, but it feels like that's got to be a big number in order to give up on your European dreams that early in your career at 24. Does anyone else feel... Were you surprised by this move? Were you shocked by this move? Does it feel like it's too early for this move? What are your thoughts on this for Somerville?
I mean, now it's just about their financial wealth, and they just care about money. And
the player, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, you got a family to feed. I am not mad at you.
Yeah.
It's a great result for the player. It's a brilliant result for West Ham, who I have a lot of love for. Yeah. The other sweetener of that deal is that he was one of United's top targets.
Yeah. So again, we can say about them like we were saying about what's it called? Arsenal being gazoomed to a player
again.
Yeah. So, which again, I can take joy in their sadness, take joy in their pain. I absolutely can. Absolutely can. All right. Anybody else have anything before we get out of here? We're only at 2 hours. See what happens when Martin is only listening and he's not around to keep us going all night long with rumors and ITK material. We're a whole hour earlier than normal. Trev, anything else that you wanted to hit?
Not really, no. I put some links up to the longer form stuff if anyone has got 10 minutes to read something. I think it's contextual, it's not judgmental, but I think people will be better informed about the whole Rodri situation if they read it. Some people don't want to be better informed, they just want to feel what they're feeling and you know, and say the things that they're feeling, and that's fine too. It's all good. Just that, you know, some people do have an appetite for more context.
No, Martin, I would not say you waffle. I was just giving you a hard time because I know you're in the chat still listening. So I just wanted to.
He's lurking like Trump did on the stage.
I just wanted to give you a hard time. He compared you to Trump. That's tough. If you
no, I said Martin, he's lurking.
Martin, you need to have a conversation with Trev. That's tough, man. That's tough. So one thing that we haven't, or there's a couple of names that we haven't mentioned in a while. One of them being Omar Marmoush. I don't think, as a matter of fact, I was going to say I don't think he had a good World Cup. I'm actually going to go the other way and say I think he had a poor World Cup. any way he stays. I mean, there is a way because he's got a contract. He can just refuse to go anywhere. But again, I have to remind myself, right, that I don't know what we look like under Maresca. If Pep is still here, I say there's nothing here for him. He needs to go. But I don't know with Maresca. Maybe Maresca has something different.
Yeah,
Shit, I hate him. Thanks, Joe, for that.
That's tough.
Blinding insight there from Joe. He's shit, I hate him. We've all learned something from that. Thank you.
Oh, you guys know what? I realized, sorry, this is behind the scenes, how the sausage is made type stuff. I just realized. What's up? What'd you say, Dylan?
Sausage, rude word.
Ayo.
Oh.
If you're English.
So what do you guys call it?
For now. No. I love that phrase. Nobody likes to see a sausage being made. You are correct. And
you call it fana? Is that what you said?
No. Fana is from a comic character who found double entendres in everything people said. And sausage is a bit of one. Sausage is a word that would just make British people of a certain age titter whenever it's said.
You guys are so immature.
But
Come on.
You're learning. We are widening your cultural boundaries.
Do I have to say pause? If you don't want to see how the sausage is made, pause. No Diddy, all that kind of stuff. I'm too old for all that.
6, 7.
Anyway, I do that. My great nephews come over and they're always talking about 6, 7. So yeah, I do that all the time. But I actually found out that I can
6, 9.
God help. We really need to end this show. I just found out that I can actually do a do a raid. I didn't have that functionality before.
Who are you raiding? Let's go and raid some Tarquins.
Well, that's what I got to see. What's out there? Who is? I don't even know how to get to it from in here. How do I get to it from in here? Can I?
Magnus, best show ever this. Because of the double entendres, mate. Get your balls on the table. We might get another $2 in.
You guys are so bad. I don't even know how to get to it.
Nobody seems to be alive today.
I'll say I don't even know how to get to it.
Luke's streaming tomorrow.
I was gonna say Luke is streaming tomorrow. If you haven't already subscribed to Not in My Lifetime, please go support Luke. Luke, do me a favor. Well, it's just Not in My Lifetime. Blues Down Under today, meaning Wednesday because it's UK time. 11:45 a.m. UK time. The folks down from Australia, the Blues Down Under, Pat, possibly Alan, all those folks. So big up to them. And again, you'll find that on the Mancunian Way channel. So definitely go and support them. I know I can do this, but I don't know how to do it from in here. So I don't know if I can. Somebody said, I think it was Dylan, you said that there's nobody out there.
Yeah.
So we'll call it a day. Big up to everybody. I appreciate you being here. So many of you have stopped by. Do me a favor. If you have not already, if you're not already a subscriber, please do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button. We are somewhere about 540 something. I'm going to challenge the chat. I'm going to challenge everybody, the viewers and everybody. I'm going to challenge you to help me get to, let's get to, maybe this is too big, but I'm going to dream big. Get me to 1,000 viewers between now, 1,000 subscribers, excuse me, 1,000 subscribers between now and the 1st of January. So between now and the turn of the year, we got about 450 subscribers to grow. So help me get the word out. Help me share about the channel. Do me a favor. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Share it. Post it. Whatever you got to do. I think there's a hype button. I don't even know what hype does. But hit the hype button. Do all the things that support your channel. I certainly appreciate it. Martin says Thursday night chat. 9:30 p.m. I assume that's UK time. What makes a big club?
This is from a conversation I had with him on WhatsApp, I think.
And then some King Kev Keegan tributes too.
Yeah. That what makes a big club thing could be quite interesting and a bit spicy.
I missed Thursday plug. I think I said it, so hopefully I hit it. But again, everybody, Thursday evening, here it is again, Thursday night chat, 9:30 p.m.
He didn't
on
miss
the
it.
Mancunian way.
We were talking about
I may have not did it. He was just not being patient. So, anyway, let's see this last thing, Tingle short. Breaking Rodri is really pushing hard to go back to Spain and Real Madrid. He's doing everything to get to Real Madrid by Fabrizio Romano. Yeah, we kind of touched on this earlier. At the end of the day, I think we have differences of opinion on what that's going to look like if and when he does leave. But let me just say this: I will be it's old news, but I will be disappointed if he leaves because I think he's great, right? However, he will leave and I will give him all the props and all the flowers and all the love that he deserves because at the end of the day, he is truly a City legend, Ballon d'Or winner, best in the world at his position. There's no question that he is world class. Whatever class you want to put out there, he is in that class. He stands alone. So I have nothing but respect for him. So thank you. If in fact he does leave, he'll leave and I'll say thanks. I hope it doesn't come to that, but I'm prepared either way. Anyway, big up everybody. Again, thank you so much for being here tonight. You guys are great as always. And we certainly appreciate each and every one of you. Again, last call, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment in the chat, post it, send it, all the things. Support the channel. Thank you so much. Big up to Trev, to Dylan, to Spartacus, to Martin, even to Solomon who couldn't get on tonight, but appreciate everybody. Thank you so much. And we'll talk again real soon. Peace.
See ya.